when it comes to your NASDAQ listing, do you have a timeline in mind?
So we're very, very excited to list in the NASDAQ. Hotel101 will be the first Filipino brand to list in the NASDAQ, and so we are very excited to do this by the second half of this year.
Why go overseas? Why go to the US?
So we pride ourselves as really being a hospitality platform that is tech-driven. And having this global expansion plan in place and having already started with Niseko, Japan, Madrid, Spain, Los Angeles, USA, we believe now is the time to do that. And the NASDAQ, being the natural home for technology stocks, is really the place that we want to be, given our aspirations to grow rapidly across the world.
And where would you use the funds raised?
So it's an asset-light business model because we make money twice. We make money first from the selling of the units, and this recoups the capital during the construction stage, which allows us to redeploy this much faster than most hotel developers. And secondly, we make money from the operations of the hotel. And so we've initially targeted 25 countries that we want to be in, 4 of which we are already in, so 21 more. So these initial target countries are really dependent on the availability of prime land, because we always have to build our hotels from the ground up. So it's very important for us to have the right location and also the scale in that location to be able to build a 500-room hotel.
Yeah.
For Niseko, for example, Niseko has traditionally been a luxury market. So Hotel101 is very interesting for global investors in Niseko because it's actually the largest value segment hotel in Niseko, and it's in Hirafu, which is very central. It suddenly opens up, a whole new world of tourism that would be able to get value for their money when they go to Niseko. So it's a very exciting project for us, especially since they're building a bullet train direct from Tokyo. Niseko is really unique because in the last 7 years, if you track condominium prices in Niseko, it's actually quadrupled in the last 7 years. And so with this catalyst of the bullet train coming from Tokyo, people are really looking at Niseko to be more of a capital appreciation play.
You've got big plans. You're looking at 1 million rooms up from the 2,000 that you have currently, and you talked about getting revenue from two sides, selling units and managing them. But this could also open up 2 sets of risks for you. Capital, availability of capital, for example, and travel demand as well. How do you plan to manage these risks?
We see ourselves as a disruptor in an industry that is ripe for disruption. The opportunity that we really see globally today is that of the lack of standardization in the 3-star hotel segment. Standardization exists in almost every value segment in the world. Like take, for example, the budget airline industry. All the airline companies in the budget airline industry essentially sell one product, the economy seat. They change the seat cover, but the product is the same. But if you close your eyes today and you thought about what is the standard hotel room in the value segment, that room doesn't exist. And so we see that as an opportunity, which is why we believe listing in the NASDAQ this year is really the way forward, because it will allow us to access capital markets that would really fuel the rapid expansion plan that we have for the world.
Capital, one thing, but what about travel demand? What gives you the confidence that now is the time to scale up this quickly?
I think, tourism numbers globally, the rebound in travel, Niseko alone, I think, just talking to people on the ground, they say they're like at least 30% higher than pre-COVID. It's an amazing rebound, and I just see this as continuing to grow. People, continue to want to travel, they continue to want to have experiences, and we see this in the rise in hotel room rates, no matter where you go, rise in, tickets when you travel. I mean, it's unbelievable, and I think it's just going to continue to grow.
What was your biggest lesson from the pandemic?
That's really what cemented our conviction to go globally. Our prototype in 2021, which is the peak of the pandemic, as you know, the Philippines had several lockdowns that we had to endure. And, we never closed the hotel. The unit owners continued to get, sufficient yields that they were happy with, as in comparison to people who had many condominiums, for example, that remained vacant during the pandemic. Our occupancy was extremely high. We were able to shift, during the hard lockdowns to more corporate accounts. Then, then it was the quarantine guests from tourists to business travelers. In fact, our highest occupancy, I think, to date was still in 2021. And so that's what really cemented, our conviction that we had something truly special. If it could thrive, in the midst of like several turns of lockdowns, a global pandemic, if it could continue to deliver yields to its investors, it continued to operate, continued to be profitable, then we knew we had something special.
Plenty more to come on Asia Fest, including a lighter slate of markets opening up this week.